The Russian soldier targeted by the FPV drone. Vehicles attacked by drones. The destroyed Russian T-80 tank. Russian soldiers desperately trying to escape on the front lines. This is a technology war. Buildings, vehicles, and trenches are being destroyed. Stay tuned for more. September 11th, 2025. Ukraine's 3rd Assault Brigade carried out a major operation against Russian forces. 40 drones were used, striking countless Russian targets. Numerous armored vehicles and Russian infantry were singled out as targets by the drones. The tourist region faced fierce attacks from Ukrainian forces. Although Russian soldiers fought relentlessly to escape the drones, none of them survived the attacks. Russian forces suffered serious losses along the front line. In particular, Ukrainian forces carried out kamikaze attacks on key logistics routes, disrupting supply lines. A Russian military vehicle transporting food to the front lines was targeted by an FPV drone. The drone operator directly targeted the driver of the vehicle, rendering it inoperable. September 10th, 2025. Ukraine's 414th Unmanned Attack Aviation Regiment infiltrated a Russian trench in the Andreevka region using a fiber optic drone. Seeing the drone approaching, the Russian soldier employed an interesting concealment tactic. However, while trying to hide from the drone, he became an obvious target for it. Russian soldiers wandering helplessly on the front lines couldn't escape the FPV drones. The FPV drones targeted the Russian soldiers one by one. They couldn't find anywhere to escape to. In open terrain, a Russian soldier targeted by a drone managed to escape the first strike with a quick maneuver, but the drone pilot was determined not to let him go. On the second attack, the soldier could not avoid becoming the target. A Ukrainian FPV drone lay in wait in front of a Russian shelter. When the Russian soldier came out, the drone detonated itself. September 9th, 2025. The Umbrella unit of Ukraine's 32nd Mechanized Brigade targeted a Russian soldier hiding among bushes in the Pokrovsk direction with a drone. The helpless Russian soldier tried to escape. He circled around the tree, attempting to evade the attack. However, he was unable to escape the drone. The Russian soldier hiding behind the tree couldn't escape the drone despite all his efforts. 2 Russian soldiers were spotted by Ukrainian reconnaissance drones while patrolling the area. Shortly after, a bomb was dropped on the soldiers from a drone. Soldiers who didn't understand what was happening went out into the open area and started looking around. However, this made them an easier target. 2 Russian soldiers were lost in the second drone attack. A Russian bridge containing Russian mines was blown up by a Ukrainian fiber optic FPV drone from the 58th Brigade. An FPV drone belonging to the Ukrainian Sky Fury unit of the 54th Mechanized Brigade went on a reconnaissance mission in the direction of Seversk. Flying over Russian trenches in search of targets, the drone successfully hit a Russian mortar. September 8th, 2025. Ukraine's 22nd Mechanized Brigade neutralized Russian positions, equipment, and Russian infantry in the Kursk-Sumy direction using drones. Numerous FPV drones struck Russian targets one by one. As the trenches were destroyed, Russian military equipment and military vehicles were also destroyed. Another Russian soldier became the target of Ukrainian FPV drones. The soldier fired to shoot down the drone, but failed to stop it as it approached rapidly. The drone struck the soldier directly in the head. September 11th. An FPV drone belonging to Ukraine's 414th UAV Brigade Hungarian Birds detected a Russian soldier advancing toward Ukrainian positions. An FPV drone attack was immediately launched against the Russian soldier. September 11th, 2025. The Ukrainian Signum Battalion spotted 2 Russian soldiers entering a bunker. An FPV drone was immediately sent after them. The FPV drone quickly hit the entrance of the bunker. The bunker was destroyed and the soldiers were left under the rubble. September 9th, 2025. Ukraine's 63rd Mechanized Brigade detected a Russian assault group in the Torsky region. After tracking 3 Russian soldiers, a kamikaze attack was launched on their hiding place. After the first attack, the Russian soldiers immediately fled to another house. But the attacks continued one after another. None of the Russian soldiers managed to escape the repeated attacks. The place where they were hiding was completely destroyed by drone strikes. The 54th Mechanized Brigade's Ukrainian Sky Fury targeted a Russian T-72 tank in the Siversk direction. The tank was completely camouflaged. High-explosive FPV drones completely destroyed the tank. September 10th, 2025. 2 wounded Russian soldiers, unaware of the impending attack, were advancing in a state of exhaustion. When the FPV drone launched its attack, the soldiers spotted it at the last moment. On September 10th, Ukrainian hunters, belonging to the 71st Jaeger Regiment, destroyed a Russian T-80 tank heading towards Kursk. The tank sustained serious damage in the initial attack and was rendered completely unusable. A Ukrainian FPV drone struck a BM-21 Grad 122mm multiple rocket launcher system. The vehicle was destroyed along with its ammunition in a short time. The Russian military convoy arriving to attack Ukrainian trenches encountered resistance from Ukrainian forces. A kamikaze attack was carried out on armored vehicles. The Russian convoy could do nothing but advance in the face of the incoming attacks. The convoy suffered heavy blows from successive attacks. The assault group was completely repelled. 1 armored personnel carrier and a Soviet-made tank were destroyed. A Ukrainian drone operator from the Lazar Separate Special Forces Company, part of the 27th Brigade of the Ukrainian National Guard, detected 3 Russian fiber optic FPV drones lying in wait. The Ukrainian pilot destroyed these drones using his own FPV UAV. Another Russian mechanized assault was repelled on the Zaporizhzhia front. Ukrainian Special Forces drones damaged a tank in the open field and finished off a BMP-3. The Russian T-80 tank, heavily armored against drones on its outer perimeter, withstood the drone attacks. However, Ukrainian forces were determined to neutralize the tank. After repeated attacks, the tank was finally disabled. A Russian infantry armored personnel carrier was completely destroyed in a single attack. Russian forces are struggling to advance on the front lines with outdated vehicles. Ukrainian MiG-29 jets destroyed a Russian military base in the southern sector using ASM Hammer precision-guided bombs. Ukrainian forces carried out a daring naval drone strike against the Russian Black Sea Fleet near Novorossiysk. The target was an MPSV-07 class support ship, hit directly on its top deck by a Ukrainian drone. Ukrainian forces inflicted heavy losses on Russian soldiers during a large-scale operation in the Donetsk region of Ukraine. Many locations where Russian soldiers were hiding in the region were detected by reconnaissance drones, and an operation was launched. The Ukrainian Special Operations Unit used 20 drones in the operation. Russian targets, each located in different areas, were struck one by one. Russian soldiers were seen taking up positions inside collapsed buildings for better cover. Shortly after, a kamikaze attack was carried out on these locations. The Russian soldiers were unable to respond. As of September 11th, 2025, the war has entered yet another decisive phase. Ukrainian FPV drones continue to dominate the battlefield, relentlessly targeting Russian troops, armored vehicles, and supply lines. These small but lethal weapons have inflicted heavy losses, forcing Russian forces to disperse, hide, and abandon positions across the front. Despite months of offensives, Russia's advance has slowed dramatically. Entire assault groups are being neutralized before they can even reach Ukrainian defenses. The once persistent momentum of Russian attacks is now grinding to a halt under the constant threat of drones that strike with precision and persistence. The course of the war is gradually changing, and the front continues to expand.